Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Josh, Oreo Express here. It is Wednesday, April 16th, day after tax day, huh? Day after tax day. Woo-wee. Man, we had a couple discussions yesterday on taxes with some folks. Some of it's socialism, but we won't get into all that. Let me jump in the comments and say, hey, what's up? Matt, First Amendment Media says, number one, just like Trump. Texas RW, the real woman. RW stands for real woman, if you guys were interested. It says, I've got a number one for you. Hunter's in the house. Susan's in the house. Renee in the house. See who else we got? Pixie sits in the wings with Renee. And let's see, Red Waves in here. Hunter. Let me go down here. Nola, Deb V, 9mm, Patriot Cliff. And let's see, we got Rob H559. Oh my gosh, he's not too scared to come in here today. That's good news. Trina's in the house. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you all. Thank you for checking out show number 2 today. We got a lot to talk about. It looks like Letizia James didn't respond. If you missed our last one, she's been, they've put some paperwork over to the DOJ to investigate her about some mortgage fraud and some other things that she did fraudulently. She dodged a reporter outside her home pretending she was on the phone. Remember when Kamala Harris used to do that? Yeah, we did that. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Department of Justice released some information on the illegal that had deportation orders that was tied to the MS-13 gang. And so they released some of the files on that because Democrats are fighting for the illegals, not for me and you, not for the American taxpayer, not for the American citizen, but for the illegals. We also got Governor Gavin Newsom. We also got someone from the state of Colorado blaming Colorado's problems on Trump. Gavin Newsom said, Trump failed his supporters in Central California. If you guys don't know yet, let me break it to you. We are coming to you live, as we always have been, from Central California. Born and raised, and Democrats have destroyed this state. Has nothing to do with tariffs, has nothing to do with Donald Trump. We spend more of your tax money suing Donald Trump between the two administrations than you have ever received in anything else in this town, in this state, and it's true. One thing I got to bring up, we always got to do this. I seen this yesterday on the way home from the Bernie Sanders rally. I forgot to take a picture, but I did read it. You just got to love In-N-Out Burger, guys. This is what they put up on their doors. Happy Resurrection Day. We're closed this Sunday so our associates can celebrate with their families. You got to love the Lord's hamburger right there, a cheeseburger. It's great. When we were up in the Los Angeles area, they also had signs on their doors when the big fire was going on that all firefighters, first responders got a free meal. It's something that they do. It's not only the best tasting burger for a fast food chain, it is also a great place and a great company just to support. We love In-N-Out. Oh, man. So we're going to start off with Governor Gavin Newsom. I know it's tough. Don't cover your ears. Listen to what he has to say. Again, he's suing Trump again, this time over tariffs. It's just amazing. We drove down the 99 yesterday, and I pointed out a place I used to work in Selma, and there was a lot of buildings that used to be manufacturers. Now they're just storage, excess storage, but there used to be a lot of manufacturing up and down the 99. Many of those things are now produced in China, both because of Democrats and Republicans. Don't get me wrong. They're both responsible. And now we have a president who says, you know what? We need to get this stuff back into the United States. There's going to be some hurdles. There's going to be some hills to climb. Climb those hills with me. And Democrats are, we want to go deeper down. Listen to what he says here.
Will be more impacted by the impacts of this, as Christine said, uncertainty that is best described as toxic uncertainty because of these tariffs. Let me underscore that with more consideration and context to where we are. We are also the largest hunting, fishing, agriculture, and forestry state in this nation, 150% larger than the next state, Texas. Folks talk to us about the impacts, regional impacts of rural economies. You're talking about California. You're not just talking about the Midwest and places like Texas. You're talking about our state, the state of California. Almonds you see around us, export dependent. Pistachios, export dependent. Dairy, export dependent. In fact, 43% of almonds and pistachios and dairy are export dependent in the state of California. Few industries will be hammered more than the toxic uncertainty of these Trump tariffs.
So needless to say, I've never seen a farmer, and we have traveled, we have done Farmers for Trump events. And again, I spent a good portion dealing with farmers of my life when I was managing a company. I did the outside sales, I did the inside sales, I ran the store, and a lot of our customers, because we did industrial stuff, was farmers. And I've never seen a farmer sit there and applaud Gavin Newsom or the Democrat Party in general, even before they became the extremist party they are now. And I just find it amazing. And I want you to listen to this soundbite here, because this is just insane. It's a little dark in here, huh? Not too bad. The sun's coming in, but I didn't turn on the main light. That's all right. Listen to this. Listen to this. Oh, you can't make this stuff up.
Donald Trump is betraying the people of the Central Valley. He is betraying the people that supported him. Donald Trump has turned his back on his supporters. We will not turn our back on those that supported Donald Trump.
We will not turn our back on those who supported Donald Trump. That's a pretty strong statement there, guy. Again, you've tried to get in the middle. Those people that supported Donald Trump want men out of women's restrooms. They want the pornography out of our schools. You know, all the things that you are suing certain school districts for. So you've already turned your back on Trump supporters because they want some morals and values back in the Golden State. This, again, blaming Donald Trump for this. And let me tell you, it would be much easier if, and I will never be back to this, but if we work together on things. Could you imagine if Democrats said, you know what? He was elected. We're going to work with him. There's some lines that we won't cross, but he's putting in tariffs. So we're going to talk to the Trump administration and see what can be done about the almond farmers. We're not just going to fight them and waste the taxpayer money and end up going nowhere, because the chief executive officer will get his way in the end. Donald, I feel this is going to affect our farmers. Can we have a roundtable discussion? Trump would fly in here in a minute. Trump loves the Central Valley. I think you all know that. He loves California. We took you to his rally in Coachella. It was about equivalent to 7,500 Bernie and AOC rallies here in California, you know, the blue state. But instead, they want those farmers to hurt because that's leverage. Guys, they are not governing right now. They are campaigning. And just let's be real for a minute. If you're campaigning against somebody, what's your goal? I want to look better than them, right? If I'm going up against Matt, me and Matt are running for the mayor of Indianapolis, Indiana. My job, unfortunately, it's politics, is to do anything and everything in my power to destroy him, to make him look bad. And the way politics works now, I can't say I would do this, but if he had a policy that was going to fail, I would want it to fail. Because why? That makes me look better. So if he has a policy that I could possibly help out with, and it would be better for the citizens, I don't do that. Why? It's going to make him look good. That's exactly what all Democrats are doing to Trump right now. Everything they're going against. Americans overwhelmingly supported mass deportations. What do you see Democrats doing? Fighting it, trying, oh, Trump's a horrible guy. Look at this guy was deported. He's an MS. No, he's a Maryland father. He's not an MS-13 gang member. He is an MS-13 gang member. We're going to show you paperwork here on the show later. So, again, this is just another tactic. There is no accountability, whether it's Mayor Karen Bass, whether it's Governor Gavin Newsom, anybody that we have so many Democrats in this state. You got groomers like Anthony Weiner. Just keep coming out with these nanny state bills and everything else. They're not making your life any better. They're not improving your life. We constantly let violent criminals out of jail here in California. We don't stop these sideshows where people are getting killed. No, not a police officer in sight. And I think something needs to change pretty quick. Again, the thing with Gavin Newsom is some people call themselves Democrats that are kind of moderate. I would hate to be labeled as a Democrat. I'm just going to tell you right now. I mean, if someone comes up to me and says, oh, yeah, I'm a Democrat, I'm like, you're everything that's wrong with society. You want open borders. You want to give your tax dollars to people who have not put into this country, illegals. And we covered this earlier with Gavin Newsom. He's asking for more billions of dollars because he gave health insurance to illegal aliens, and he bragged about it. He's transforming the first state to do so. And look at now, we're in a pickle. Check this out. Just going to show you this.
Gavin Newsom says the state short on funds for its Medicaid program known as Medi-Cal. The state expanded the program to cover undocumented immigrants. Governor asked lawmakers to approve another $2.8 billion in loans on top of a $3.4 billion loan issued last week. So California now making up a $6.2 billion shortfall in Medi-Cal funds. The money meant to keep the program properly funded through June.
The realities are the realities. You have to balance budgets. We balance our budget. Revenue is holding up. I don't see anything significant along the lines of what some have asserted.
He doesn't think it's significant that $9.6 billion went to illegal alien healthcare. But if we had those $9.6 billion, he wouldn't be needing more of your tax dollars. More spending. But Democrats would say, let's tax this guy over here. Let's tax him more. We got to take more money from him. Instead of saying, no, you're not a legal citizen. You don't deserve healthcare. We can all get jobs and get healthcare, right? Again, Democrats have made healthcare so unaffordable, it's not even funny. But listen to this.
Today, I announced a lawsuit on behalf of the state of California suing the Trump administration. California is the largest manufacturing state in our union, one of the largest trading partners around the globe. No state will be impacted more than the state of California as it relates to the unilateral authority that's being asserted by the Trump administration to impose the largest tax increase in modern American history. Today, I announced a lawsuit on behalf of the state of California.
See, and once again, I'm just going to say it right now, guys. China is applauding Gavin Newsom. All these other countries that have taken our jobs, they're applauding Gavin Newsom and the Democrats. This is what they want. You know how scared, you know how quickly China and all these other countries would come to the table if they didn't have Democrats doing their bidding? Imagine China sitting there and saying, wow, they got Governor Newsom on board. They got all these other people to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Let's make a deal. They don't have to say that. They say we got our foot soldiers like Gavin Newsom doing our work for us. A governor in the United States, the governor of California, is doing their work for them. That's all this boils down to, and that is a promise. Colorado, check this out. Michael Bennett says, call it right now, Colorado faces real challenges. I just want you to see what he puts on here. Housing, healthcare, and childcare cost too much. Schools and small businesses are struggling. Parents worry whether they will be able to raise their kids. Trump's chaos will never help us solve the issues. So blaming it on Trump. So you got Governor Newsom, you got Michael Bennet here in Colorado. Well, how long has Colorado had these problems? Well, let's just take a look for Michael Bennet, because again, he wants the stupid people to think that this is because of Trump's chaos. All those things he talked about got severely worse under Biden, and he didn't mention it once. But now Trump wants to reform things and fix these things. There's a problem. We're going to push against fixing them. Take a look at this little graph here, if you will. This is the Colorado party control from 92 to 2023. And I want you to look at back in 92, they had a Democrat governor. In 99, they had a Republican governor. If you go back and look at everything where it's majority red, things were better in Colorado. Crime was better. Housing market was better. Everything. Childcare costs were less. Now, if you go look over here and you just see from 18, 19, it's all been controlled by Democrats. So really, Michael Bennet, what you are saying is we screwed this up and we don't want Trump to fix it. That's all you're saying. Colorado, it is a beautiful state. There's a lot of beautiful places in Colorado, but like we've took you to some. I mean, when you have the governor of Denver lying after the FBI detailed a report saying the TDA gang members were in Aurora and other surrounding areas, and a city council member in Aurora gets word of it and brings it up, and they called her a right-wing conspiracy theorist. Instead of saying, you know what, to the residents of Colorado, we do have some issues. We're going to work with our federal partners and make your community safer. They didn't say that at all. They denied. And then what happened? We got video, we got footage, we got arrests. They're still denying it. It's just insane what we are seeing here. What else do we got next? So, you might not have heard about this. We'll play a video clip. There was a mass shooting in Texas yesterday, Dallas, Texas. And before, if you haven't seen anything, let me ask you a question. Why do you think it hasn't been all over your news? Bingo. I knew the Oreo Army would get it. Let's take a listen to this.
Wilmer Hutchins High School, we do have reports of one student being one shot.
This morning, a 17-year-old student is in custody after opening fire at a school in Dallas, leaving 4 students injured. Gunshots ringing out just after 1 p.m. at Wilmer Hutchins High School. At least one teenager was shot in the leg.
The unthinkable has happened.
Dozens of students seen running from the school. One of Tammy Whitaker's children calling from inside a locked closet.
He said, Mama, he said, y'all, just can you come get to us? I said, y'all stay safe and I'm coming. I'm here.
The terrifying incident unfolding just 1 year after a similar shooting at the same school, despite having security measures in place like metal detectors and a clear bag policy.
My sister, she's always telling me they're not checking properly, they're not checking backpacks.
How do you give parents confidence to send their kids back to school?
Do know that the gun did not come through during regular intake time, so it was not a failure of our staff.
With such a vague answer, we did ask for clarity. How did this gun get onto campus? But the school district superintendent and the chief of police would not answer. They basically said this is an ongoing investigation involving my.
Not one word about a suspect. That's interesting. Usually that's what they focus on. The person who committed the crime, right? What is going on? Come on, ABC, do better. Well, we got that information for you. I'll show you the video. It's kind of sketchy, cloudy, but you can see the person on the security cam is pointing out, and you'll see the person run and start shooting down the hallways right now. You see everybody just shooting. You got somebody on the ground right there. Now, why? I still can't figure out why ABC didn't show anything. Oh, I got it. Sorry, we better take that off the screen. We forgot about that privilege. Again, because the suspect wasn't white, straight. Again, there's a special privilege when it comes to the media. If you're black, trans, illegal, you guys know. And again, it's the incident has disappeared. When they're saying they're disappearing people, they're disappearing news articles and coverage of news articles because, again, they don't want to. I mean, that to me, every shooting we've covered, it was always about the suspect until things are identified about that suspect. Think it, you know, and this just brings me into another one that happened. I want you to read this. This poor guy, Deshaun Dante Leith, was a force in his community, a father to a beautiful daughter, and a tender homie I met organizing. His life was stolen by the police. If able to donate, please, and boost widely. My gosh, look at that guy. Oh, that's the story you're getting, folks. Let me see what video I have up for that. Let's take a look at this.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
But they did confirm they are canceling school here all week.
Watch out, get hurt. You're going to get hurt. In the name of Jesus, stop, bitch. Hey, Lord, bow down. Get hurt. Jesus, Lord, bow down. Don't touch me or you're going to die. Next time you touch me, you're going to die. Next time you touch me, you're going to die. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. 5-10, Cleveland. Send me another unit. He's on foot, going down the berm.
There he goes, coming back.
Hey, you gotta go down. You ain't that's Jesus, bitch. That's Jesus, bitch. That's Jesus. Oh, get down on the ground.
That's crazy. I will say something. That was crazy in this. He didn't even pull out his gun. He pulled out his dukes. You see his hand. You could tell he's been trained in some boxing, that officer. But this went as wrong as something could go.
Jesus. Okay, let's see. Good out. All right. Let's try to call Jesus. Go ahead. Listen. Get down on the ground now. Lay down. I'm strong, baby. I'm a Jesus woman. I'm a Jesus woman. I'm a Jesus woman.
Now, again, you haven't seen a whole lot of this on the news either. Let me pull up some more. This is just one of the videos. It doesn't match what the left is trying to say. But again, I feel bad for the guy. He had a lot going on, but there's more to this story. So let me see if I can find the other piece to this. There was more to this. Let's see. Where'd it go? Pull it up. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. I thought we had it up, but it was another clip. Oh, where's the video I had earlier? It shows him. I wonder where I saved it at. But he ends up, it sounds like stealing the police car. And while he's in the police car, it said he stole a cruiser. Oh, let me see if I can find that. And then he crashed it. While he was in the cruiser, he was praying the whole time. Not what I think is normal praying. Let's see. This one's 2 minutes. I don't know why it's not come up. And anyways, after all that, he was shot. And you guys just watched that video, and this is what we hear. And the reason why we're bringing up these stories today is because there's a lot in the media right now, and it tends to happen more when someone like Trump is in leadership. It's an easy way for them to play the victim, to scream racism. And it's really unfortunate that it goes that way. All I want is non-biased reporting. I don't care about your skin color, but whether you're black, white, brown, even if you're orange like my president, you should be covered fairly, right? But we've seen that hasn't happened lately. I just want to say we've been talking about Carmelo Anthony, and he is the juvenile, I think 17 years old, that went to a track meet, stabbed someone who was white. He was black. And instantly we had that same thing, that George Floyd effect, the Black Lives Matter effect. And so he raised quite a bit of money. The judge dropped his bail. And if you want to see why I'm comparing this, we can look at Kyle Rittenhouse, who was actually threatened with his life. It was all on video, and he didn't have his bond reduced. He spent a lot longer in pretrial detention than Carmelo. You could see just a double standard of justice. Well, Carmelo and his family have raised a lot of money, and Carmelo now has a new vehicle now that he has made bond. My understanding is they raised close to $500,000 so far. It might be more. I heard there was more fundraisers for him. But if you want to check out his new bling, that check that out. $150,000. That's nice, huh? That's nice. Again, I'm not the judge, jury, or executioner, but I think to try to use a self-defense plea, they're gonna claim racism. They're gonna be claiming all this stuff when none of that was the issue. But not only that, check out the new home. Check out the new home. They had to move into a $900,000 home now, and they have 24-hour security, from what I understand. We got some other posts over here. Check this out. It says update on Carmelo Anthony's family. They raised $500,000 in legal defense and moved to a mansion, bought a Cadillac Escalade, and got Carmelo some new kicks. And they got some pictures here of that property. Let's see. So there's the property. It sounds like they're renting this, but that is a beautiful home, man. This is the property management company. I don't know what a $900,000 home goes for monthly, but much more than me or you are paying for our rent. And then let's see what the next one is. There it is. Manifesting God's promise. Let's see. Stop with the fake narrative. No. There's a picture of new kicks behind him. Do you see the way? All I want is a news to question some of these people, question, and not podcasts, not independent journalists, but the legacy media that is dying and failing in this country. It has destroyed a lot of things in this country. And it's unfortunate because, again, they get the media narrative the way they want. They get it, just like the criminal has a halo over their head. This is a victim. And when we see body cam, and I'll tell you what, BLM screwed up. BLM, when they demanded officers have body cams, it's backfired 100%. Because that first one, if that wasn't on body cam, they could have continued screaming racism, that it was a white racist cop. But when you watch that video, you're like, man, I can't believe he hasn't shot by now. He put up his dukes. That man was a boxer. I got to give it to him. Check this out. It's almost like Ali Akbar. Akbar Mohammed Amin was arrested for sending threatening text messages targeting the life of DNI Tulsi Gabbard and her husband. One message reportedly read, "Prepare to die, Tulsi, and everyone you hold dear. America will burn." Amin also allegedly shared the image of himself pointing a gun at a photo of Gabbard. So that's Tulsi and her husband right there. Just a quick picture. And then here's some of those text messages that you see. The home you two own in Texas is a legitimate target and will be hit at a time and place of our choosing. You have all these Texas. Prepare to die, you Tulsi. Everyone you hold dear, America will burn. Man, I tell you what, every time you get Republicans that are fighting for this country in elected leadership, we get to see, I guess you could say, the truth about what's going on. The truth about what's going on. And it's unfortunate. All right, check this out. So we covered this earlier. If you missed the first show, Senator Chris Van Hollen used your taxpayer dollars and flew to El Salvador. He wanted to raise awareness and he wanted to bring an MS-13 gang member back to the United States. I was laughing the whole time. We talked about it in the first show. Again, it's nothing other than a media blitz. It's so that they can get coverage of this, try to make Trump look bad. Oh, the poor Maryland father that, has had a domestic violence. He was in the country illegally. A deportation order is classified as an MS-13 gang member. When he was arrested, he was with other MS-13 gang members. And so you had Chris Van Hollen. He got on the plane. He was telling America that he's going to go fight for justice and all this. Never once did he mention he was the senator when Rachel Morin was murdered. Never once did he tweet about it because it was an illegal alien, the people that Democrats are supposed to protect, right? Just sickening. Listen to him here. Oh, and this one's probably not going to be good enough. Let me pull up a different one. I had a different one up originally, so maybe it will. Maybe I didn't have the volume up all the way. Let's see if that helps.
This is an unsustainable and unjust moment, so it cannot continue this way. I also told his wife and family that I would try to meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia while I was here. So I asked the vice president if I could meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia. And he said, well, you need to make earlier provisions to go visit CCOT. I said, I'm not interested at this moment in taking a tour of CCOT. I just want to meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia. He said he was not able to make that happen.
So your tax dollars paid for this photo op. That's all it is. Your tax dollars paid for this photo op. He didn't make any prior communications. He didn't ask. He wanted just to fly there unannounced into a foreign country and act as if he could just walk in and meet with what we consider a foreign terrorist. So he could, but he wanted to go down there. He wanted to, I don't know if he was going to do a jailbreak or what, but bring a foreign terrorist, MS-13 gang member back to the United States. And as always for Democrats,
he said he need a little more time.
America last. But you paid for that, folks. You paid for that trip. They're complaining about Trump golfing. And you have senators trying to get illegal alien terrorist MS-13 gang members back to the country. They're using your tax dollars to fly to El Salvador. I'm a little more upset than that than somebody enjoying their weekend. So the DOJ released documents from Homeland Security showing the criminal alien who was deported to El Salvador is in fact an MS-13 terrorist. Take a look at this. These are court records. This is what law enforcement does. And at the top there, Mara MS-13 member clique. He was in the Western clique, and his member status is active. and it goes through all these different stuff that is on his criminal report. Interesting. And so today, with the left acting like this is baby Jesus, like this person was, you know, the biggest saint in the world, and that we can't deport people from this country that are here illegally with deportations orders. They had Rachel Morin, her mother, in the White House press briefing room. Take a listen. A couple minutes. Listen to what she tells me.
Please tell the truth. Exactly.
Listen.
Please tell the truth.
She says, please tell the truth, because they didn't tell the truth about her daughter when her daughter was violently murdered by an illegal allowed into this country by Joe Biden and Mayorkas and the rest of the Democrats.
Exactly.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell like how violent it really is. This is about protecting our children. It's more than just politics or votes or just anything. It's about national security, protecting Americans, protecting our children. Thank you.
Seems like something the world should hear. Her daughter was murdered. Listen to this.
He can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador that a mother knows. Why are we not protecting the American citizens? It's just common sense. Why are we not protecting our children? And to have a senator from Maryland who didn't even acknowledge or barely acknowledge my daughter and the brutal death that she endured, leaving without a mother and now a grandbaby without a grandmother, so that he can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring back someone that's not even an American citizen. Why does that person have more right than I do, or my daughter, or my grandchildren? I don't understand this.
Now, you would think, that is a mother of someone, again, a United States citizen that was murdered. You would think that maybe the news would cover it. This is what was tweeted out. This is the different channels right here. You have Fox News that was covering it. CNN was not covering it. CNN was doing something else. MSNBC was talking to a national affairs analyst. They don't want the American people to hear that. It's part of the reason why we do what we do, is because, think about that. We're hearing a lot of lies from the Democrats. Your Social Security is going to be gone. They're cutting your Medicaid. We know it's all false. We know it's all false. But the truth that American citizens are still under attack by these terrorist groups, these cartel groups, and illegals that shouldn't be in the country in the first place. We're covering every week another major crime, a murder, a rape, something. And Democrats have been absolutely silent on it. This is breaking. DOJ releases 2019 police report. So this is, again, the 2019 police report that it goes through. Alien present without admission or parole. That was 3/28/19. And where does it say? He's out of El Salvador, San Salvador. And then here's what we showed you earlier. Let's see where to go. I was looking for the one. Maybe it was on the original page. I was trying to look at that one. Oh, we showed you guys earlier. I'm not gonna. Let's see. So, again, let me pull back that one up. If I didn't close it already. Okay, here we go. Again, gang, MS-13. He's a member. The clique he's a member of is the Westerns, and it's active. This is 2019. This wasn't when Trump was trying to get people out of the country that were here illegally. This is under the Biden administration. It's an actual police document dated March 28, 2019. And Democrats are out there parading around. Oh, this poor guy, this Maryland father. Again, you come into this country illegally, you're already breaking the law. You come here and you do gang activity, a little bit more breaking the law. Somebody we don't want in our country. We're trying to clean up the mess. And that's what Trump will continue to do for quite a while now. Quite a while. Trump's team, Rapid Response 47, corrected Axios again, because listen to this. This is what Axios did. The government accused Abrego Garcia, a Salvadoran national legally living in Maryland, of being a member of MS-13, even though he has not been charged with any gang-related crimes. You don't have to be charged with a gang-related crime. Oh, man. I got that one went bye-bye. I'm not going to be able to pull it up again. You don't have to be charged. So we get people arrested in Fresno all the time, especially we have the Bulldog gang. We have multiple gangs in Fresno, but for a while, the Bulldog gang kind of ruled a lot of the streets. And so if you had a guy with Fresno tattooed on him and then a bulldog on his neck or dog paws, they love the dog paws under their eyes, and they're questioned for an investigation and they admit to being a Bulldog gang member, you put that, you file it, and you go away. Doesn't mean there's charges against them. But this is just absolutely crazy. Crazy. So let me just help you out. When Garcia was arrested, he was found with rolls of cash and drugs. He was arrested with 2 other MS-13 gang members. 2 judges. People say, well, where's the proof? 2 judges found that he was a member of MS-13. They're not denying that, but they're denying that. It's crazy. So we'll see. The poor Maryland father. Now we're going to break it up. We talked about this. Letizia James, her mortgage fraud, how many remember this? We covered this day.
So when he takes the stand for the fact that the Trump sons, the Trump organization, did not try to have this conspiracy to defraud banks to get special rates on their properties by inflating those financial statements. Now, if you remember, Don Jr. was on the stand as a state's witness just about 2 weeks ago, and he distanced himself from being one of the top heads of Trump organization and preparing those financial statements. So when he takes the stand for the...
Well, the tables have turned. I always say this. Whenever Democrats accuse somebody else of something, that's what they're doing. And that's what we're finding out right now. We covered it extensively in the first show. But so there was some reporters that tried to ask her questions about her fraud, about on some of these forms saying that her father was her husband. Man, not a simple mistake there, was it? Listen to her here. And then also saying that her when she filled out an application for a home, that it would be her primary residence. If your primary residence isn't in the state you're elected, what kind of fraud is that? We're gonna find out all that. But listen. After this went off, she was over there speaking, and listen to this. You could tell she's like, "We just need to stay in power so I don't go to jail." That's what this whole thing means. Listen.
My mission is clear. I'm focused. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I've been trained by the best. I went to Howard University that overturned legal segregation in this country. I've been taught in those classrooms where Thurgood Marshall once taught. I'm not afraid of no president. Donald Trump, we're ready for you. We're coming for you. We're standing up for you. We're fighting on. We're not going down silent. Victory, my friends, is clear. It's now. And I'm not waiting 4 years. I'm waiting 2 until a speaker by the name of Hakeem Jeffries comes to bring us some rest, Come on, ladies. It's up to us. We saved this democracy before. We'll save it now. Let's go.
I can't wait to watch this one. And I'm going to be so disappointed if she was able to go after Trump and she doesn't get, but there was, I think we got it on here. I think Benny Johnson had on somebody. Yeah. Listen to this. This is a fraud investigator right here. And listen to what he reveals.
The Justice Department's referral of it. So there's a lot of issues here. There's number one is the Virginia residences, the phantom mortgages, the intention to occupy another residence as a primary residence. There's the Brooklyn property whereby she represents it's 1 to 4 units in all of the mortgage documents, but it's really 5 units. There's the Department of Buildings that gave her a pass, which is inexplicable. And there's another issue that wasn't covered in the Justice Department's referral of it. I found that in the year 2021 to 2022, she made 6 or 7 trips with a private jet carrier called Venture Jets. Now, New York State has this big checkbook thing that you can go back to 2014, look up any vendor, any transaction when New York State reimbursed money. It's from the Officer of the Controller's Office. Now, what happens is she was the only one in the history of New York City as far back that used Venture Jets. And a few of the trips overlapped. With campaign events that she was at. Now, after New York State stopped paying for her Venture Jets, her campaign started paying for Venture Jets. So that's another thing that I'm sure the FBI will be investigating.
So she was using public funds to campaign, which is illegal.
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Listen, the other stuff, the mortgage stuff is a slam dunk. The documents exist. The other stuff is,
That's all I want to hear is the mortgage stuff is a slam dunk. Wouldn't that be crazy? And I don't know how long it'll take, 2 years to see her being escorted out of a courtroom in handcuffs. You think her Trump derangement syndrome is bad now? We'll have to see. Hey, and don't forget, before we move on, guys, we are traveling tomorrow, and we need your help for gas, food, and lodging. If you guys want to help donate, we are 100% viewer funded. We can't do it without you. There's going to be an epic school board meeting tomorrow night. At least I'm hoping it's epic. Sometimes it's hit and miss, but from what we're seeing, it should be epic. And we're going to be down there, going to be the one covering the truth for you, unedited, live. And so if you guys want to help us, we'll be going down tomorrow to LA. We will be, it'll probably be over kind of late. I'm thinking it could last into the middle of the night. So we will be staying in LA, coming back this way on Friday, picking up Roberto, and then heading to a 5150 protest. That's what I call them, the mentally ill protest for Saturday. So we have a lot in store for you, but we can't do it unless we have the funds. So if you guys would be so gracious and bless us with the funds, we would appreciate it. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army, or givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. If you use Zelle, you can use the Zelle, your bank app to use Zelle. You can go to our website, theoreoexpress.com. There's a donate now button. And it'll have all the links there. And again, we can't do it without you guys. And we want to say thank you. Thank you more than you know. We want to bring you some good coverage, hot topic stuff. As always, I was telling Rachel after the first show, I said, it's going to be heating up. You can see that, you got Bernie and AOC flying into California for two events. I think they were in Montana today. We got all this other stuff going on. You got these 5150 protests. You have this, you have that. And so we're going to need to be on the road to cover everything, which in turn will help grow the channel, which in turn will help grow the support, in turn, which will grow our revenue and eventually I'm hoping eventually we won't even need to ask for donations. It's just the cancel culture we have to fight. So I'm going to go through some posts really quick on X just to kind of show you what the people that are paid by the DNC or the groups affiliated with the DNC are stating. I thought this was interesting. This person, Tracy, says, we did this 3 years ago. It's called the CHIPS Act. And she was replying, under President Trump's leadership, NVIDIA and TSMC are making huge investments to reshore leading edge chip manufacturers in the United States. This isn't just economically beneficial, it's strategic necessity. And what it was about a tweet that he put. He goes, NVIDIA commits to $500 billion to build AI supercomputers, plus in the United States exclusively. So again, we'll go back to her comment. We did this 3 years ago. It's called the CHIPS Act. I don't know if she knows this or she does. So the CHIPS Act took $53.7 billion of your tax money to subsidize what Trump is doing and putting on the manufacturer. So again, that's pretty much Trump saving this country $53 billion. The left hates subsidies on Teslas, not on electric powered cars, but on Teslas. They have no problem doing this for chip manufacturers. Again, it was a subsidy. Who pays that subsidy? You do. That's not anymore. The CHIPS Act, again, when you use taxpayer funding like Joe Biden and Democrats like to do, when you could just negotiate and say, hey, go ahead, build them over there. It'll cost you 50% more to bring it into the United States. And then all of a sudden, you get them saying, you know what? Let's build in Texas. Let's build here. How about this one? RFK Jr. said some stuff today. I don't know how much we're going to cover, but again, what is the left paid to do? Lie. Listen to what he says.
Medical health care costs. And then there's an individual injury. These are kids this is a preventable disease. We know it's an environmental exposure. It has to be. Genes do not cause epidemics. They can provide a vulnerability.
See, what does he just say? It's a preventable disease. He wants to find out why 1 in 31 children are now growing up with autism. He even said these will never be taxpayers. Some of these will never be taxpayers. They're going to be dependent on the taxpayer. They're not even going to be able to go to some of them not go to the restroom on their own. He's breaking it out. And he's saying this is what making America healthy is. We need to figure out what it is. We need to prevent it from happening. And Democrats, what do they say? Well, I'll show you what they say. And there it is. This is from a fake, another paid propagandist from the DNC. And there it is. RFK Jr. spreads dangerous misinformation that autism is a preventable disease. Is there anybody in here that don't think the rate's going from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 31? That something changed and it is preventable, whether it is environmental, whether it is pesticides, whether it is injections. Don't you want to know? Don't you care? They say, love thy neighbor, the Democrats, whenever it's an illegal. How about that poor child that doesn't get a future, that's always going to have to be dependent on a caretaker, that doesn't get to live a normal life? We don't love that neighbor, thy neighbor. We don't do that. It's just absolutely insane, again, how they attack. Listen to this.
There's an extreme risk for boys. The ASD prevalence rate in 8-year-olds is now 1 in 31. Shocking. There's an extreme risk for boys. Overall, the risk for boys of getting an autism diagnosis in this country is now 1 in 20. And as high in California, which has the best data collection. So it probably also reflects the national trend, 1 in 12.5 boys. This is part of an unrelenting upward trend. The prevalence 2 years ago was 1 in 36. Since the first ADDM report in 1990, which was 1992 births, autism has increased by a factor of 4.8. That's 480%, I believe.
I remember when RFK Jr. came out and said, you know what, I'm going to end my campaign. I'm going to ask to be removed from the ballots. Donald Trump is giving me an opportunity to go and make America healthy again. I remember the day he came up on stage. And I'm not a fan of RFK Jr. with a lot of his stuff. I'm not. I've told you guys. I remember I brought up comments even. I was like, I can get behind RFK Jr. if he has a leash on him and he's not crazy. During COVID, he was one that said, well, this could help out global warming because people aren't commuting. But what he's been doing and the lawsuits he's been fighting and what he wants to do is, as an American person, if they want you to inject something in you, you should be able to know the truth, the risk versus reward. Democrats don't want that. Remember, it's only my body, my choice when it comes to killing an innocent child. It was never my body, my choice when I wanted to go into a restaurant in San Francisco when I was unvaxxed, or when I wanted to go out in California past 10 p.m., but there was a curfew. Or how about this? I couldn't even drive into places without some permit saying, oh, guess what? You're valid to drive around. And I'm not talking about a driver's license. I'm talking because the government decided who essential employees were. Democrats were pushing that. They were calling and reporting me at places I was going to. I loved it. They told you if you got that jab, you won't spread it. You won't be able to get it. And then, oh my God, 30 days later, these people are getting it. We got some dying. They were vaccinated. What do? Don't tell the public. Well, what about they're asking for the data? Well, we're going to hide the data for 75 years. Again, there's some pharmacy that there's some drugs that are really good for people that need them to survive. And then there's others that are pushed on people. And again, if it's my body and my choice, and it goes to actually murdering a child, why can't it be my body, my choice when it comes to protecting my body? And I look at these statistics. He said 1 in 21.5 in California. And they said California has the best data when it comes to this. And again, I'm born and raised in California in the Central Valley. I don't remember this when I was in elementary school. I don't remember this epidemic because it didn't exist. And Democrats, I don't know why Democrats don't want to find an answer to this. I don't know why they're against him. I truly don't. Maybe it is that thing. Again, Democrats want everybody dependent on the government. I guess if you're born where you can't function entirely in the world, in your community, you're going to be on the government. You're going to be dependent on the government. That's the only thing I can think of. And again, I know I'll be called an anti-vaxxer, even though I'm fully immunized. But what has changed?
The ASD prep.
And that's what we're going to find out, because it is an epidemic. And I don't know why legacy media, I don't know why anybody else won't talk about this. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. How about this? Today, we're going to talk about this triggering the left too. We talked about it. Indiana. I don't know if we got any Indiana folks in here. Let me see if I see Jay Lynn in there. I don't see Maxi Pad Matt in there right now, but again, he just might be snoozing. He goes to bed early. Indiana removed sodas and candy from their SNAP benefits, and Democrats are outraged. Remember, just about 4 weeks ago, we covered supposed conservative influencers, and they got called out. I think Nick Sartor did a great readout showing how these conservatives that are paid to post stuff on X started putting The government shouldn't be in our hands and our deciding what we buy. Well, we're making America healthy again. And they've all, like 4 of them, even Chad Prather, all posted. You could tell they were all paid to post this. A couple of them came out and apologized, says they won't be doing that again. And now we have Indiana making this decision. It says, check this out. This was the post from Secretary Kennedy. Today, Dr. Oz and I visited Governor Braun in Indiana to celebrate his Make Indiana Healthy Again agenda. Governor Braun is a champion of public health, signing 9 Make America Healthy Again executive orders, including removing soda and candy from SNAP and encouraging fitness and health in schools. I urge all governors to follow his lead and make America healthy again. Remember, let's go back to COVID. Remember when COVID? They were keeping you from jogging outside. They were arresting people that were exercising on the beach. They didn't say, hey, we've already got the data that shows if you got comorbidities, you have a higher likelihood of dying. What'd they do? You go get a shot, you get a free Krispy Kreme. I'm not lying. This was your government. California held a lottery with your tax dollars. If you win, it was literally a lottery because you don't know what happens when you got the jab, right? But if you got the jab, they would fill out a little thing for you. And then every once a week, I don't know, it was Wednesday, it was like the Super Lotto. Oh, Jamie from Stockton. Oh, Jamie died? Had nothing to do with COVID. But now these Democrats, they don't want America healthy. They don't want America healthy. I thought this was interesting. The American Beverage Association, the one that hired a lobbyist to pay conservative influencers that somehow this was an intrusion on our rights. Guess what? If the taxpayers are paying for your food, there can be limitations on what you could buy. I think, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I think we should have lobster on there too. If I work my tail off and can't get lobster, how are you buying a $39 lobster with SNAP? But that's a whole different thing. I live in Fresno. I watch people all the time in front of me fill up their grocery cart with food that I would die to have, and then they use their SNAP. This was from Brooke Rollins. This was the American Beverage. It says, American Beverage today issued the following statement on today's news of Arkansas. So Arkansas did it too. SNAP waiver submission into the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It's disappointing that Governor Sanders and Secretary Rollins are choosing to be food police rather than take truly meaningful steps to lift people off SNAP with good paying jobs. So now they're playing the victim. You want to know why they're playing the victim? Because how much money goes into sodas through SNAP? I wonder if that's my next one. No, not yet. We'll get to that. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs just vetoed a bill that would have banned soda purchases with SNAP. This is the Arizona Capital Times. So Katie Hobbs, again, a Democrat, they don't want you healthy. They don't want you thinking for yourself. Again, there were so many bad things that happened during COVID because of lockdowns. People that were sober started drinking again and doing drugs again. People were lonely. People were dying alone. And Democrats are like, it's okay. But you want to get them healthy? Hell no. Hell no, we're not going to get them healthy. This was from Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen Reports. SNAP is about, now you know what SNAP is. I know I've been talking about it. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So this is welfare for food. That's what it is. Welfare for food. Taxpayers pay taxes. They give it to these people that supposedly are in need. SNAP is about 25% of Coke's revenue. Think about that. Think about how large Coca-Cola is. And this was actually from March 22nd. And the reason why Mark said this is because conservative influencers, if you will, again, I'm frustrated with these people that don't go out to the streets and actually report something. They're like, oh, you're going to give me $1,500 for a post that reaches 1 million? Oh, it's tyrannical to take away soda from people on Snap. But think about that. 25% of Coke's revenue. I hope it banned. I mean, you know what? Let me look at something. Is Snap a federal program? I think it's a federal. Or it. Your SNAP Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program is a federal program administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture through its Food and Nutritional Services. It provides food assistance to low-income individuals and families. So it's federal. I have a great feeling that the feds will take care of this. I think you guys could agree. And again, I'm not saying that if you're truly in need of food assistance and you have a child and that child has a birthday, I get a birthday cake. I want your kid to have a birthday cake. Every kid should have a birthday cake, right? But when your second refrigerator is full of Coke and Dr. Pepper, and many of us that aren't getting SNAP can barely afford the $3.49 case of bottled water at Costco, there's an issue with the system. Again, always punishing the hardworking. So check this out. There was some news. We know that David Hogg was elected as the DNC vice chair. You remember we talked about it the other day, the March for Our Lives. There was a report that they're laying off all these people. And a lot of the speculation was because their funding was coming when your tax dollars went through USAID and all these other NGOs, and then they would funnel back into these leftist organizations. It's the only thing that can explain it, because leftists should be doing really well right now when the opposing party is in power, because you're trying to fight that opposing party. Well, David Hogg came out, and this is actually a Politico post, believe it or not. DNC Vice Chair David Hogg is pledging to spend millions in safe blue primaries to challenge ineffective, asleep at the wheel Democrats. What does this mean? You live in an area that's never going to elect a Republican. San Francisco, for example. Well, you have a representative in San Francisco that's not doing what David Hogg and the younger generation, the absolute fascists that want to ban guns and everything else, they're not doing, and we got more on this. They're not doing that. You're going to find an opponent to run against the incumbent. Now, it's a decent strategy. We've done it. Every party's done it, but not on a level as the DNC vice chair, and he's ruffling some feathers right now. It said that this right here says, an unprecedented move, DNC official to spend big to take down fellow Dems. And it says, our base is craving dramatic change. This is the AOC dramatic change that they want. We have this one over here. This was, I can't remember who did this one. And this one says, David Hogg, the DNC vice chair, wants to take down some safe incumbents. And I think we had another one. And then David's a little worried. There was even some comments about some of these older folks. We need to get younger ones in there. And you guys know how politics work. Once you're in, you're in. Take a look at this. I don't know if this is damage control or not. Everyone in our party says they want to start winning again, and they do. But that simply will not be possible with our current set of leaders. Calling out the leaders. too many of which are asleep at the wheel, out of touch, and ineffective. As a result, there are likely going to be stories in the next few days and weeks about me and leaders we deserve that will aim to destroy my reputation in order to weaken this effort. Many of them will be lies. Many of them will be contortions of the truth because people want to maintain the status quo even though it's not working. We cannot afford to do that. We're not going to let that happen. That's crazy. That's crazy. Man, have you ever seen, there is something wrong with David Hogg. I'm not, RFK Jr. needs to look into whatever that deformity was. I'm going to just show you, and I'm not trying to be mean here. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. And come on. Look at those arms. Let me see. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Like his arms all the way up at the bicep have like a 2-inch diameter. I mean, he is literally a stick figure. And then look, he's just always angry. David, calm down, bud. Calm down. You're the party of tolerance. He looks like the people at the Bernie thing yesterday. Just all rabid and pissed off. Oh my gosh. But guys, don't forget, I don't know what time I'm leaving tomorrow. I'd like to get down there earlier rather than later. Make sure we get past all the traffic. It's about a 4.5-hour drive from here. We do need gas money if we want to go. So gas, hotel, and lodging. So I appreciate everybody that's donated. If there anybody that hasn't and you want to help out, we appreciate it. Go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, and givesendgo.com/Oreo2024. We also have a Zelle link. If you use the bank transfers from your bank and you use Zelle, go over there. It's theoreoexpress.com. That's our website, theoreoexpress.com. And again, you can donate there. It has all our links. I'm hoping we get enough tonight because, again, we got to make that decision tomorrow, and we got to go to L.A., We're going to be in LA covering an epic board meeting if we can make it. Then the next morning, come all the way 4.5 hours back and then head about 3 hours away for the 5150 protest. And as you guys know, we always try to make sure we're at the front line taking it all. So I want to say thank you to you all. If you can donate, we appreciate it. If anything breaks tonight, any breaking news, we are going to be near the studio. What's that? We got a Venmo. Robert, thank you. Thank you, Robert. A crazy guy. That's Roberto. Maybe he does want to go. He's been getting scared, guys. I'm telling you. Anytime I invite him to something to Clovis, he gets scared. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, brother. And again, if any of you guys else want to help contribute, think about it. We appreciate you. God bless you all. And again, if anything breaks, we'll be back later tonight.